You are fired up today, man. You had some extra shit. Did you have some candy after school?
No, I did not.
Do not call me a homer, but I'm feeling fine about the Bengals. You feel fine about your Rams getting there. I feel fine about my Bengals.
Okay, well, the difference is that we lost to the best team in the NFL, and you guys lost to Mitchell Trubisky. I think it's a big difference.
Lamar Jackson is playing for $300 million guaranteed, so he is going to come out firing.
Name one wide receiver on the Baltimore Ravens. Why? He's a tight end. Wide receiver.
He catches the ball. That's all that matters.
Eagles, they put up a fight, but in classic Detroit Lions fashion, they took it slow and waited all the way to the final second, and they thought they had hope the whole game when really it was over the whole time.
This is former Chicago Bear Desmond Clark, and y'all hear me on many podcasts, but when y'all hear me on PICKEM Pros, y'all know it's all about family. This ain't just business.
Right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. You know who it is. I am Derrick Thompson.
And I'm Diego Thompson.
And who are we?
We're the PICKEM Pros.
The PICKEM Pros coming back at you in the house for a special week 2 of the NFL, second episode of Who You Got. We are back, ready to go. I went above 500, which is the bare minimum. I had a bad week, but still finished above 500. My co-host, man, what happened to you this week?
Yeah, well, Dak got injured.
Dak got injured. Okay.
And Russell Wilson can't seem to carry a team anymore. And
okay.
And the Rams played the best team in the NFL. So
okay, all right, okay. You, my friend, my co-host, are ready to go. All right. Well, we are Derrick and Diego Thompson, father, son, founders of PICKEM Pros, the PICKEM Pros universe. This show is Who You Got, where we're picking all the games every week. We will recap, so we'll own what we missed. Was quite a bit. It was a bloodbath this past week. A lot of upsets, but we'll go into that. Go into week 2. We'll try to do better. And again, so we're picking these picks are not just for our own satisfaction and us going back and forth, but they are also for a good cause. So that's the fun of this and something that we're really excited about. So let's go ahead and talk about that. So again, we're going head to head. I went 8-7 this week. There was the one tie. You went 7-8. So we're neck and neck. We're right with each other. But whoever finishes first is going to have a major donation in their name go to a certain cause. And whoever finishes second will also have a donation to their cause. So why don't you go ahead and tell everybody who you are playing for? What cause did you choose on your own that you're playing for this NFL football season?
Yes. I've decided to play for the Eat.Learn.Play Foundation. Steph and Ayesha Curry, there's Steph right there.
All right.
In the background. But yeah, it's a foundation in Oakland, started in 2019. Provides kids meals, helps them learn and play. So it's a really good foundation, and of course by Steph. That's my favorite player, basketball. So just supporting his cause is really important. So to me,
that's your guy. So really excited about that. So we've got more to play for. So these picks are even more important. So that's fun. So that's kind of giving us a little extra juice. I am playing for And we're going to play for many, many different causes as we go. So this regular season, we're playing for these causes. When the playoffs come, we'll probably pick, additional causes. We'll also pick during the NBA playoffs, March Madness. So that's our whole season. And we'll pick different causes as we get into the different sports. But, since we're starting off, this is our first set of first NFL season. We want to pick kind of the cause that's like the most near and dear to us that we've been checking out over the last few years. So I am personally going to be playing for the Jalen Rose Leadership Academy out of Detroit, Michigan. So that's special to me. I'm a big fan of Jalen Rose and his career. I love what he's done with his charter school in Detroit. So I definitely want to beat this guy here and get the majority of funds donated to the cause that I'm supporting, which is the Jalen Rose Leadership Academy. You can see that information on your screen. So that just adds a little bit of juice to this. So I tell you what, let's go ahead and put a number to it. Let's just not just say we're going to donate. So the winner, all right, whoever wins, our cause gets $2,500 donated to their cause. $2,500, all right, to the winner. The losing team, you still get $500 to your cause. So we're raising money for our cause no matter what. We're going to raise money for them. But the stakes are obviously high to try to win it and to be able to send a little bit bigger check there. And hey, as we grow, as we can continue to grow this thing and we get more funds, we'll just put more back into the community and help. So that's what we're all about. One other note, and then we'll get into our recap of week 1 and then get into week 2 picks, which is why we're here. One other thing I do want to mention is we're talking about our causes. We personally, Diego and I, we support a lot of causes. We are based out of North Carolina, so we're coming at you from North Cackalack, and we actually have a nonprofit called Tweens and Technology. We have other fundraisers that we have, so we do a lot in our local communities. But we feel that it's not just important to support your local community. That's important. We certainly do that. But we also are big proponents of supporting outside of our community. A lot of times we can get in our, hole where we are and just get locked in on that. Let's stretch out. Let's support our local community, but let's also find something that's in another community and learn about that community and help each other. And that's how we just help the country as a whole. So just a little, announcement for us and kind of part of our philosophy. We encourage you all to support these. And if you have a cause, that you've started or that you know about, that you're passionate about, send that to us in the comments, and we will consider that as a cause that we'll support in the future, because we're going to support causes that are not just led by athletes, but are led by fans, led by everybody. So we're going to spread the love around. All right. So thanks for listening to that. And man, so let's talk about what happened in this week 1. You ready for that?
I'm ready. Let's do it.
All right. Okay. Let's get into it. So let's go ahead and let's start with the winner this week. The senior winner here. Again, we want to have more in this column. This is the winning column. This is the losing column. So I was slightly above 500 this week, but I still got the dub overall. Again, it matters after these 18 weeks of what happens. So, but I'm off to a decent start here. But I say the highlight of my picks, as you can see, is the Bills versus Rams. I definitely called that. Diego, man, you putting all your chips on the Rams.
Yeah, well, I thought that they would have some Super Bowl momentum from winning the Super Bowl and being at home against the Bills. I thought it would be a close game. I'm not surprised the Bills won because I do have them winning the Super Bowl. But I'm surprised by just the margin that they beat them by. So I think this just shows me how much they're above everyone else in the NFL. So
okay. So this makes you even more confident in your Bills pick, but you're still confident that the Rams are going to make it back to the Super Bowl. You sure about that?
Yeah, they'll be fine. They're better than everyone else in the NFC.
I don't know about that.
Did you see the NFC?
Well, the Bucks.
Dude, the Bucks didn't even get 20 points against a Cowboys team that's done. Aaron Rodgers and the Packers, they got blown out by the Vikings.
Yeah.
So the NFC, I think the Rams just easily.
Well, yeah, I mean,
No.
Week one's funny. I mean, you didn't have preseason. We had preseason, but nobody played in the preseason. So we're really seeing the results of that. We don't truly know where these teams are. So week one, there's always a ton of upsets. We should have both picked a lot more upsets for week one. So that was our bad. But I think the 49ers, obviously, they need to decide what they're going to do at quarterback. But again, that's my team to go to the Super Bowl. And I think they we'll get there and be just fine. But we'll come back to that. The Bengals, that was one that, let me bring this off here. The Bengals was a big surprise for us. I think that was definitely a result of lack of preseason. Their offensive line looked terrible. Burrow looked awful the first half, and then even going into the second half. I was impressed with how he rode the ship, how he came back, how he still threw for well over 300 yards, and his couple of touchdowns and all that. So I'm not concerned with the Bengals at all. I think they're going to be just fine. I was happy with what I saw by Jamar Chase, so I'm feeling good about him. So I'm feeling fine about the Bengals. Do not call me a homer, but I'm feeling fine about the Bengals. You feel fine about your Rams getting there. I feel fine about my Bengals.
Okay, well, the difference is that we lost to the best team in the NFL, and you guys lost to Mitchell Trubisky. I think it's a big difference.
We lost to Mike Tomlin. That's who we lost to.
And Mitch Trubisky.
We lost
that dynamic duo.
All right. Well, before we get into our big week 2 picks, let's just go over your recap. You were 7-8 for the first week 1, your first week of picking. And again, the Bills Rams, that was a loss. But the highlight for you this week was the Chiefs over the Cardinals. I think that was definitely a good one. I had the Cardinals. Again, they were at home. I thought Kyler Murray was going to come out hot, start, study. Not sure, how much of that happened, but, they definitely were very flat in that game. So I was very disappointed in the Cardinals. I did not have them making the playoffs, mainly because D-Hop was out. He's going to be out for the first 6 games at least. But, yeah, I was surprised on how well the Chiefs looked. But your Chiefs look great.
Yeah, they were, and against a playoff team in Arizona. Dude, I told you Kyler got to study. He should have studied for Patrick Mahomes, man. Yeah, man, but just I told you from the beginning that they were going to be fine. Kelsey did his thing. The other receivers on the teams they picked up did their thing. Mahomes 5 TDs. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, Mahomes was a total beast. Showed that he is not just a byproduct of Tyreek. He put that to bed at least with that first game. So Mahomes was absolutely outstanding. Nothing bad I could say. Very, very happy for him. Kelsey showed out, just the whole team. So nothing I can say. We'll see how they do this week though. So can they ride that momentum after that huge win on the road? Can they come home and face the mighty Chargers, who I have picked to win the division? And that is a great segue into our week 2 picks. You ready to get into it? You want to just go for it?
I'm ready. Let's do it.
All right. So just like last week, we agreed on 11 games and disagreed on 5. And we happen to have the exact same breakdown this time. We agree on 11. We disagree on 5. So we'll go ahead and start with the games that we disagree on. And then finish with the ones that we agree on for this week, for week 2 of this NFL season. So as the Chargers visit the Chiefs, who you got?
Yeah, well, there's no question here that I have the Chiefs because of Patrick Mahomes, because of Travis Kelce, their deep receiving cast, and the Chargers. They're a really, really good team, but they don't have Keenan Allen, who's their number 1 target and a top 10 receiver, no question. So I think that the Chiefs will probably win, maybe even a little easily. Because before I thought it was going to be a tight game with Keenan Allen there, but now I don't know about that.
Wow, okay. You want to put a point spread on it? I mean, what's up? You're saying blowout? Saying 20
I'm
points?
not saying blowout. I'm just saying that it's not going to be like a tight down to the wire game. You know what I mean?
It is going to be a tight down to the wire game. It is going down to the wire. The Chargers, well, you know what? I'll give you and the Chiefs enough respect to at least say that it's going to come down to who has the ball last. The Chargers will happen to have the ball last, and they will win.
Well, how do you know that?
I just know, son.
How do you know?
Just.
Well, what if the Chiefs have the ball last? Then you're going to be wrong.
Nah, they won't. They're going to manage the game, make sure they have the ball last, and they're going to win. Last second field goal. Now, I lost a lot this past week on field goals and extra points. That destroyed me. I'd say, 6 out of my 7 losses were like last second field goals.
Yeah.
But I'm going to be on the right side. I am due. That's just the odds. And I'm going to win on the last second field goal by the Chargers. That's what's going to happen. And also, Aaron Griffin, one of our big supporters and films and producers for the show. He is going. He's a huge Chiefs fan. Okay, one of the biggest Chiefs fans there is, and he says it's going to come down to the final drive. Although he thinks the Chiefs are going to win. Yeah.
Well, Keenan Allen though.
That's a big blow. That's a big blow. But
he got targeted. It seems like he got targeted every time Herbert threw the ball.
That's.
Well, what are they going to do?
Herbert's going to spread it around. We're fine. We're going to spread it around.
He's not Mahomes. Mahomes is the only one that can come back the first game without a top 5 receiver.
I'm not going to say he hasn't done enough in big moments for me to say he's better than Mahomes. So I'm not going to go that far. But he's on his way. He is coming, and I'll just leave it at that.
He might be on his way, but he's not there now. It's about the here and the now.
Well, we disagree on this one. So this is where I will get another game over you and raise money for the Jalen Rose Leadership Academy in Detroit. All right, so let's go to game 2, the next game that we disagree on. Tampa Bay Buccaneers after New Orleans Saints. Who you got?
I got the Bucs in this one. I feel like Tom Brady's gonna bounce back from not his best game. He didn't play it horrible, but he could have definitely probably played better to his standards. I think he's gonna bounce back and throw it to Mike Evans, and that's gonna be the thing. And they're gonna win.
They have a strong connection. They definitely do. That's why I had him.
And they did.
I told you about Mike Evans.
I don't know if you go that far, but and Godwin got hurt again too.
Yeah, Godwin.
I didn't expect him to play at all in week 1. But maybe Mike Evans could be maybe top 10. Like maybe it's possible.
Yeah, and what was the rush to bring Godwin back? Why did he have to come back week 1? And it is no surprise that he's hurt again. I mean, he got hurt in week 16?
Yeah, somewhere between like 14, 16. Yeah, he was ACL and MCL.
That was absolutely ridiculous for him to come back that soon. Yeah. So and that's what happens with that. But so Henry, I'm with you, my man. I am finally with you. So you can stop being done with me. I am picking the upset. I'm picking the New Orleans Saints to beat the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So Henry, I want to shout out. I want you to give me some love on this one. And hopefully I am not jinxing you. So if they win, then I guess I'll be your good luck charm. And if they lose, then you might not want me picking your Saints anymore. But I've got the Saints this week in the big upset.
Okay, well, last week I did pick the Saints against the Falcons. They ended up winning. So you better pick this right, or else Henry's gonna want me picking the Saints and not you.
I know. Yeah. Shout out to one of our day ones. Henry says our show is his favorite on YouTube. So thank you, Henry. We appreciate the love, man. All right. Next game that we disagree on. The Colts, the Indianapolis Colts at the Jacksonville Jaguars. Who you got?
Yeah, well, I got I obviously have the Colts because Taylor's a beast. Looks like he could be even better this year. Matt Ryan threw for like 350 yards last Sunday. It wasn't a tie, but the Colts, you don't really have a history of playing well in week 1s. And and the receiver Michael Pittman is becoming really good. He's being consistent, like he might be a consistent one. Yeah. So I have the Colts winning this one, probably pretty easy. And the Jaguars can't finish a game. Jeez, they had the Commanders.
No, hey, my guy, my coach, Ron Rivera. Okay, he is a hard coach to beat. That was all coaching, and also one of my fantasy football.
He was a hard coach to beat when he had the Panthers.
Well, hey, I have the upset. We disagree on this one as well. I have the Jacksonville Jaguars. They are going to win this game. The Colts have a very tough time beating the Jaguars, period, and especially in Jacksonville. So in
Jacksonville.
They prevented them from making the playoffs last year in Jacksonville.
Yo, last year they had Carson Wentz, and now they have the clutch Matt Ryan.
Okay, Matt Ryan is an MVP.
Yes, he is an MVP. Yes, he is.
Give him that respect. But as far as extra clutch and all this stuff, didn't they blow?
Okay, well, he's better. He's better, way better than Carson Wentz.
Okay.
Way better. And clutch. Because in the biggest moments, he'll fade, and Matt Ryan will not fade.
I will give you that, but it still won't be enough.
It's in the biggest moments.
Upsets
even if he doesn't, he has Taylor to hand it off to.
I have adjusted from week one. I've adjusted from week one. Hopefully, I'm not overcorrecting, and I'm going upsets. All right. So the fourth game that we disagree with each other on is the Miami Dolphins at the Baltimore Ravens. I'm excited about this game. The Miami Dolphins are must-see TV. I really like their roster. I love their speed. I'm a big Tyreek fan as far as on the field. So I can't wait to see this game. They're just about a 5-hour drive away. I really want to go to this game. And it's just taking everything in my soul to prevent me from going, because I know then that'll be a long drive back on Sunday night. But I really want to see this game in person. Who you got?
Yeah, well, I got a team that I believe in very much. The Miami Dolphins. I just believe in them so much. I believed in them from the very beginning. What? I always said that they had, an explosive team. Tyreek, Waddle, two of the fastest receivers in the NFL. They got Tua. They got a lot of weapons, and just I believe in them so much. And the Ravens, even though they are at home, I think that just the Waddle Tyreek, Gesicki too. I forgot about Gesicki. No, that combo of receivers is gonna just tear the Ravens apart. So yes, I have the Dolphins.
I have the Baltimore Ravens. The Ravens.
Oh, come on! I thought you believed in the Dolphins.
I do believe in the Dolphins.
No, you don't. You don't believe in the Dolphins. Come on! You should have picked the Dolphins.
Okay, listen, I don't have the Dolphins going undefeated. Okay, so they're going.
Okay, well, they can beat the Ravens.
Lamar Jackson is playing for $300 million guaranteed, so he is going to come out firing.
Name one wide receiver on the Baltimore Ravens. He's a tight end. Wide receiver.
He catches the ball. That's all that matters. We're going to Mark Andrews.
Wide receiver.
He's going to give me major
one.
I don't have to. All I have to name is Lamar Jackson.
You don't know any.
Mark Andrews. That's it. That's all you need.
Well, they know Mark Andrews. He didn't even play that amazing last week. He wasn't even amazing. Did you see Kelsey? Kelsey was amazing.
$300 million. That's my answer to that. So
okay, but they got Tyreek and Waddle and Gesicki and Mostert.
You are fired up today, man. You had some extra shit. Did you have some candy after school?
No, I did not.
Extra fired up. Okay, all right. So you have the Miami Dolphins on the road team. I have the home Baltimore Ravens winning their home opener and going 2-0. Shout out to Sherelle Cole. I'm with you. Be more. You might see us this weekend. You never know. All right. So let's go to the last game that we disagree on, the last of 5, the Monday night thriller. The Minnesota Vikings visit the Philadelphia Eagles. Who you got?
Yeah, well, I have the Eagles winning. I was impressed from them. I think they'll probably run away with the division. They were.
Yeah,
I was very impressed with them against the Detroit Lions. AJ Brown was amazing. Even with his new contract, he still got Devontae Smith. They have AJ Brown and their number 2 receiver was a guy who won the Heisman just like 2 years ago. So as a receiver, and then they got Miles Sanders and their defense. And Jalen Hurts is going to be throwing it and running it all over the place. And I think that they're, even with Minnesota's weapons, I think they're still gonna win.
Well, I'm big on the Eagles this year. I picked the Eagles to win the division originally. You did not. You had the Dallas Cowboys to win the division. Then I think you tried to go back and switch your pick. Something like that. I don't know. We have to go back and look at the tape on that.
I'm just saying what's probably going to happen now. Because I'm sticking with my pick. I'm just saying what's probably going to happen.
Okay, it was probably going to happen. Okay. I get it.
So my original pick, I messed up on it because Dak's hurt. So
Dak's hurt.
Yeah.
All right. Okay.
Dak is hurt.
Well,
Yes.
I have the Minnesota Vikings going into Lincoln Field, if it's still called Lincoln Field. I'm not sure about that. But I have them going into Philly, and I have.
You don't even know the name? Jeez.
I don't know what it used to be called. Lincoln Financial Field. It may still be that. They call it the Link, but they changed the names of the stadium so often. So I'm not sure about that. But anyhow, doesn't matter. They are going to go into Philly, and they're going to get the win. I think Minnesota is going to be strong this year. A lot of chips are falling in the right place for them. They are getting that ball to Jefferson, so he is having a huge year this year, and they're going to continue to do well. The defense is stepping up. I like what they did. I like the acquisitions they made there. So Minnesota is going to be strong. They will certainly win their division as I predicted, and they're going to go into Monday night, and they're going to showcase their talents and get the win. So man, I'm gonna have I might have a 5-game, a total 6-game advantage over you after we get out of week 2. Man, you know what? It's gonna be, man. It might be over after week 2. We might just go ahead and just cut the winning and losing check after week 2.
Okay. Well, then that would show that you're scared for me to chase you down.
I don't know about that. All right, man. So those are the games we disagree on. Let's talk about the games we agree on, and while we're doing that, we'll get to get into some of the latest news within the NFL. So let's go to the first of 11 games that we agree on. The New York Jets at the Cleveland Browns. Who you got?
Yeah, well, I have the Browns in this one. Chubb and Kareem Hunt, the dynamic duo. He's got Amari Cooper there, and the Jets, I feel like, are just kind of a mess right now. So I have the Browns winning this game. Yes.
Yeah, I'm with you, man. I've got the Cleveland Browns. Their home opener. Chubb is a beast. Oh, man, I used to be able to get him in fantasy every year, and then his value just became too high, and I can't get him anymore. But love Chubb. I wish they would give him the ball more in the red zone. It's so aggravating, and I know for the fantasy owners, you see Chubb break like a 40-yard run, get the ball to the 10, and then they trot the backup in to get all the touchdowns. It's the most aggravating thing in the world.
Yes,
I tell you, Chubb is a total team player. Chubb is one of the most
the Cleveland Browns too. It's not like they're going to be like that amazing every year. So
man, yeah. So Chubb is a trooper because they always take the ball out of your hands on the goal line. So all right, so we both have the Browns there. All right, the Washington Commanders at the Detroit Lions. Who you got?
Yeah, the Lions, they are at home, but I was impressed with them against the Eagles. They put up a fight. But, in classic Detroit Lions fashion, they took it slow and waited all the way to the final second. And they thought they had hope the whole game when really it was over the whole time. So it was like the Eagles, they had a lead, and then they just kind of just put the backups in, and then
it was so typical. And again, hey, my family, most of my family is in Detroit. I love Detroit. I love the city of Detroit. So there's no shot to Detroit. But it's just funny how, like you said, they constantly thought they were in the game, but we're not in the game. And that has just been so typical of how it's been for them for many years. But we are picking Detroit this year. I think this is the first game that they're favored in like 20 some games. So it's been a long time. But but
Oh
but
man.
this is the game. Y'all have to get this. Detroit, come on, stand up. We are pulling for you. Go ahead and get this game. I actually have them finishing third in the division. I wanted to pick them a little higher. Again, so motivated by Hard Knocks and the coach, and they seem to have a lot of good chemistry, a lot of good rah-rah, some good vibes. So they've got something to build on, but it's going to take a few years to build it. Think they are onto something in Detroit, and we'll keep an eye on you. And we have you down for a win this year. So come on, Detroit. Let's get the W this week. We got to see that happen. All right. So next, let's go to the Panthers, our Carolina hometown team, Carolina Panthers, my team, are visiting the New York Giants. They had a heartbreaking loss last week in Baker's debut against his old team. Now they travel on the road to the Giants. Who you got, man?
Even though I do have all this Kansas City stuff on, the Panthers are my team. It's just I'm a Patrick Mahomes guy, but I do have the Panthers winning this. The Giants, they of course had coming off a big win against the Titans, but I think it's going to be down to the wire. It's going to be Saquon and McCaffrey, just two of the best running backs in the league, just going at it, and then Baker's going to make a couple. Is going to have a great fourth quarter, like he did last.
That's a slip, like your JV. I like
that. I think he's going to have a great fourth quarter, like he did last week. So, yeah.
All right, cool. Yeah, man. I hope so. This is make or break. Come on, Carolina. You guys cannot start 0-2. It's similar to Detroit. You can't start 0-2. Come on. You have to get the win. I know it's on the road. I know Giants have some momentum. I know Saquon is looking good, and he's in a contract year. So I'm sure Saquon is going to have a great year because that's just how it always works. But Baker, come on. Panthers, got to pull it out. Get this win. Make it 1-1, and let's see what you can do. We both have you in the playoffs. We had you last week. You got to make us look good. Come on, Carolina. Get the win. We have you this week. All right. Next game. We have the New England Patriots visiting the Pittsburgh Steelers. Who you got?
Yeah, I got the Steelers. At the it used to be Heinz Field. They're not Heinz Field anymore, but that's their home opener. I think it's a good home opener because the Patriots, I just don't know what their offensive plan is going to be. Yeah. They are going to try and find probably the Steelers' best guy on offense, but and they did lose T.J. Watt, but so I just think that they're just going to be betterly coached and just going to run through the game. So I think the Steelers are going to win this one.
Yeah, I agree. I think the Steelers are going to win. They look really good against the Cincinnati Bengals. Their defense is looking strong. They're going to have to rely on the defense. Trubisky is serviceable. And the Patriots, I just don't believe in the Patriots. I was surprised they hung with Miami as well as they did, although they still got beat pretty bad. But
they lost by 17 points. And
I know.
And they only had a field goal.
But seriously, as explosive as Miami is, I could have seen that being an even bigger margin.
I think they just kind of went easy on them.
You think so?
I think that's what happened.
Think so? Well, hey, Tyreek is on my fantasies. I need Tyreek to really, really do it. But anyway, that's a whole nother topic. The Steelers, I definitely have them. I think they are going to be solid and get the W. Not really much more to say on that one. All right. Well, let's move on to the fifth game that we agree on, the Atlanta Falcons. You don't think they're going to fly in the SoFi and upset the Rams and make them 0-2? They're not going 0-2. The Rams aren't?
Let me think about this. They have the Falcons. They have so many weapons. Kyle Pitts and Yeah, but no, I have the Rams winning easy. I don't even have to explain it. Like, I'm just gonna say if they're gonna win, it's gonna be a blowout, probably by at least 20 or 30 points. So that's just what's gonna happen. Yeah,
it definitely needs to be. In fact,
why did they even schedule this, man? Because this is gonna be such a blowout. Like, I don't even understand why they put this amount of pressure on the Falcons.
I hope so for your sake.
Kind of sad. Oh
the team you picked to go to the Super Bowl, I hope they don't start 0-2, losing back-to-back at home. Ooh, that would be tough. All right, well, we will see. All right, well, the next one, the Seattle Seahawks travel to the San Francisco 49ers. Who you got in this one?
The Seahawks, they're coming off a big win against, their former quarterback, Russell Wilson. They were able to beat them on not on last second field. They just kind of just beat them. But anyway, so they play the 49ers. I have the 49ers winning. That Trey's going to bounce back from his game. Jimmy's going to give him some tips. And they're just going to help him, and they're going to win against this. And if they go 0-2 against the Bears and the Seahawks, and that's really concerning for the team that you picked to go to the Super Bowl.
Not happen. That's right. I picked the 49ers to go to the Super Bowl. They will not start 0-2 like the Rams may. They are going to take the lead in the division, and they are going to just roll all over the Seattle Seahawks. They're not going to fumble the ball twice on the goal line like the Broncos did. They will close them out. They will win this game by at least 10 points. So that is the prediction there. All right, let's go ahead and move on to the next game, the seventh game that we agree on. The Cincinnati Bengals, your guys, because you have their entire team on your fantasy roster, your new favorite team, the Cincinnati Bengals. You may be the new mystery cookie, but the Cincinnati Bengals travel to the Dallas Cowboys. Who you got, my man?
Well, first of all, the Cincinnati Bengals are almost trying to make me not like them anymore. Just not like them completely. Because he got if Joe Burrow gets only 3 turnovers, then I get the most points in my fantasy league and get an extra $25. But he couldn't even do that. He couldn't even just get like a simple 3 turnovers. He had to get 5. But Mixon's playing very well though. Mixon played amazing. But Burrow needs to step it up. But anyway, they are playing the Cowboys without Dak, and they don't know what the quarterback's going to do with Schultz and CD. So I think the Bengals are going to win. Yeah. I think they'll bounce back.
I obviously have Cincinnati Bengals. I picked the Bengals to win the Super Bowl this year, and I picked this.
Jeez. Okay. Okay. So the 2 teams you have in the Super Bowl. One lost to Mitchell Trubisky and the Pittsburgh Steelers, and the other one lost to Justin Fields and the Chicago Bears. Yeah. Oh my gosh! It might be Steelers Bears in the Super Bowl. That's
Okay, first of all, week one, a lot of upsets. Not reading too much into this. Okay, your Rams that you picked to go to the Super Bowl got.
Who did I pick to win the Super Bowl? The Bills, the Buffalo Bills.
You wanted to pick the Rams, but you refused.
The Bills are winning.
Your voice.
Bills.
So I don't know. Anyway. This Bengals Cowboys game actually scares me a little bit.
This is sad. Why?
No, it has nothing to do with the Bengals. The Cowboys are really going to play well. Okay, their backup quarterback is gonna look. Their last 2 quarterbacks, right, came off the bench and never relinquished it, right? So Tony Romo, so you don't know this is before your time, but Tony Romo was an undrafted, player, right? And he was backup quarterback, and then came in when the starter got hurt and never relinquished it. Okay, Dak Prescott, although it was his rookie year, he was drafted in the 4th round. they didn't expect to start him his first year. But Romo got hurt. Dak came in, never got his job back. Jerry Jones already alluded to the fact, or already said, not even alluded, he said that this scenario is reminding him of those situations in the past.
Jeez.
So I really think this quarterback, and he won on the road last year in Minnesota. So I think
Minnesota.
He's good. Listen, I feel that he will have a better rapport, which this isn't saying much. He's going to have a better rapport with CeeDee Lamb. So that alone is going to be a big difference. So I think, for real, this game, Cincinnati is probably, they may be taking them lightly, although they're coming off a loss, so they shouldn't. But Dallas is hurt, obviously, and Dallas is at home, and I think they're going to really rally around their backup. So I think Dallas is going to put up a valiant effort. So this game scares me from that standpoint. But with all that said, I'm still going with the future Super Bowl champion Cincinnati Bengals. So that's who we both have. Your new favorite team, the Cincinnati Bengals, where you have their entire team on your fantasy roster.
So, I only have two players.
Nah, jeez. I think you have more than that. Okay, so the 8th game that we agree on this week, okay, is the Houston Texans at your Denver Broncos. You've been talking, you know what, before I ask who you got, because we already know who you got. You've been talking all this trash about the Denver Broncos, about how you don't understand how they're, so overrated. Their receiving core, although people say they're deep, they don't have a single 1,000-yard receiver, and they don't have anyone that's made the Pro Bowl, but yet they're so deep, so talented, all this and that. I'm probably stealing your thunder, but with all that said, you're still picking the Broncos, aren't you?
Yeah, I am picking the Broncos because they are playing the Texans, who I feel like could be the worst team in the league this year. But yeah. So if they lose this game, I just think it's going to be sort of like the Niners. If they lose to the Seahawks, it's going to be like a level of concern. That's just crazy. Because I picked them to finish last. I picked in the division. I picked them not to make the playoffs, but this would just be horrible. And here's the thing. So yeah, as you said, they're supposed to be so deep at receiver, but they don't have a single Pro Bowler. And I don't even know if they have 1,000-yard receiver from last year on their roster. So yeah. So and then Russell Wilson, he's supposed to, because usually he starts off well in the beginning of seasons.
Right.
He might fade a little bit, but this time he had like 340 yards, but he also only had 1 touchdown and a pick. So I think that's not usually like Russ type of numbers for like the first 5 weeks of the season. So I don't know how he's gonna be this year. I didn't have him as a top 10 fantasy quarterback. Yeah. So
and what do you think about them kicking the 64-yarder at the end of the game and not putting it in Russ's hands, who they gave $240-some million to? What do you think about that decision?
I think they should have probably put it in Russ's hands because there only been two 60-yard kicks in history, and it was a really low percent chance that they're gonna make it. So I think they should have still put it in Russ' hands. Trust him, let him see if he could do it, and even if he didn't convert, then I think it would probably still be the right decision. I wouldn't blame him totally. The coaching staff totally for that. So.
Yeah, and again, he said that he had no problem with it, and that's good. It'd be bad if they got off to a rocky start as far as the relationship goes. But is it me?
For 7 years, so
right? Yeah, that's true.
He's like 30, almost 35. So
is it me, or is Russ out of shape? I mean, dude, he's looking a little, as the older generation says, he's looking a little heavy. Like what is going on with Russ?
He wasn't, I think maybe because of that he wasn't being as risky because he knew that he was bigger than he was last year.
Yeah,
and that he couldn't run. And there were a couple times where I think he maybe could have gotten in the end zone for a touchdown with his legs, but he decided
it's like, nah, that's
to like throw an off balance on his off foot, like out of bounds or something.
Right. Yeah.
But
Just
not as risky as he usually
does
is.
not look as in shape as he needs to be to lead the team. So we'll keep an eye on that. The other thing that we have to keep an eye on, I'm kind of switching to a different team, and we'll get to the next game. But let's go back to Lamar Jackson with Baltimore, because speaking of bigger, although it's different, he's bulked up and is a more muscular physique. So it's not the situation with Russ. But is it me, or did Lamar Jackson look not as fast on the field? Now, we only saw a few plays because we were flipping and we were on red zone and whatnot, but we're going to really have to watch Lamar and see how much he scrambles next game, because the little bit that we saw, he didn't look nearly as fast.
But yeah, you're right. He is noticeably bulked up.
Yeah.
And I don't think he is as fast as he might get used to it he'll probably get used to it as the season goes on. But right now, I don't think that he's used to that. He was throwing the ball a lot. He was slinging it like 40, 50 yards. Like, it's like I can throw it. Give me my contract. But
yeah, he was throwing that thing, man. He was throwing. So I'm gonna be really paying attention to that this week and see. I think Miami's, I don't know if you really want to force him out of the pocket. You don't want to test it. I'm sure. He's still fast, obviously. But come on, Lamar was
he's crazy fast, but
he's crazy fast.
But he's probably not like as fast as he was.
Yeah, and it's hard to. You bulk up that much. How do you keep your speed? So gonna be keeping an eye on that. So I haven't really heard anybody talk about that. All right, well, let's get back to the games here. We have, let's see, 3 more here to pick. So we have the 9th game that we agree on, the Arizona Cardinals at the Las Vegas Raiders. Who you got in this one?
I have the Raiders. The Cardinals, they didn't play well last week against the Chiefs. And tough schedule for the Cardinals. They're playing back-to-back AFC West teams. It's pretty rough. But yeah, the Raiders, they almost won last week. It was just Derrick Carr couldn't get it done late. But Adams, of course, was amazing. He was just amazing.
He was.
Because he did his thing. He's probably going to do it for the rest of the season. And they still have Darren Waller. Because he was the guy that he was like the only guy they threw it to like a couple years ago. And they have Renfro. It felt like when I was looking, it looked like they barely threw it to Renfro. Because they had Waller, because Waller and Adams were catching all the balls.
Yeah, they didn't throw it to him nearly as much.
And Renfro is a 1,000-yard guy. So he had 1,000 yards last year. And I think 100 catches. So I think the Raiders are gonna beat the Cardinals. Pretty easy.
I agree. I think the Raiders take that. I'll be interested to see how the Cardinals try to bounce back. They're going to be the in-season hard knocks. You and I were saying from the beginning, like, ooh, why they picked them? They I know I didn't have them making the playoffs. Did you have them making the playoffs?
I did. I had them as a 6.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. But we both felt that it would be a rocky season. So I guess
it's definitely not going to be a smooth sailing.
No. And if they get off,
and that's just going to add more to it.
Yes, that's going to be interesting. They definitely will need D-Hop as fast as possible. But okay, well, let's get to the Sunday night game. The Chicago Bears at the Green Bay Packers. I already spoke with Uncle Dwayne earlier today, so he's talking junk about the Bears beating the 49ers, although that was total luck with the rainstorm. And now they are going into Lambeau. He thinks they're going to get the win. What do you think? Who you got?
Well, I think Uncle Dwayne is going to be wrong because Aaron Rodgers has a reputation of owning the Bears. He is the official Bears owner. Even without Adams, I just think that, and they lost last week, and it's going to be the and it's going to be the opener at Lambeau. So I think they'll probably pull it through.
Yeah. I've got the Green Bay Packers as well, although it's going to be tough. I mean, the Packers did not look good. I think it's going to be a shaky year this year. I do not have the Packers making the playoffs. And, so this game, again, quiet as it's kept, I wouldn't be surprised if they lost this game, but it was kind of a toss-up to me. And with the fact that Rodgers really needs to bounce back, hopefully Lazard will be back, and they're at home. I kind of went with the Packers, but I don't have much confidence in this one at all. So this one is kind of a toss-up to me. All right. And then the last game that we agree on, the other Monday night, because there's 2 Monday night games this week. That's typically week 1, but there's 2 Monday night games week 2 this week. The other Monday night game, the Tennessee Titans travel to the mighty Buffalo Bills. You're the team that you picked to win the Super Bowl. Let me ask you, who you got?
It's going to be pretty tough for Tennessee because if they couldn't beat Daniel Jones and the New York Giants at home, then how in the world are they going to go into Buffalo and the Super Bowl favorites and try to have any shot at beating them? So I just think the Bills are going to just win again. So they might go undefeated, maybe. If they can beat the Rams by as much as they did, I feel like they can beat anybody.
It's funny.
Chiefs one might be pretty hard, but
the only thing about the Bills is that they, at least for last couple of years, they would play down to the level of competition a lot. Now, they obviously, they were amazing week 1. I think they had a lot of motivation. I'm still mad about the way they lost to the Chiefs. So can that carry over to week 2? Now, they are at home, so it's their home opener. So that gives them some extra juice. So that's another reason why I agree with you, and I'm picking the Buffalo Bills. But I think Tennessee Titans are going to show up. Nobody thinks they're going to win it. They outplayed the Giants and just had a lot of silly errors in that game. So Tennessee should have won that game. So they were a lot better than I feel they showed. And I think they played Buffalo tough. So, we'll see. I would be inclined to probably take the points, if I were betting on this game. But yeah, I've got Buffalo here to win this game with you. So I agree with you on that, my man. So that's it, man. How you feel about week 2? You gonna overtake me and raise more money for your cause, or is all the money going to mine?
All the money will not be going to yours. It will be going to mine. And I'm going to I have a chance. I feel like you're going undefeated. I think it's actually probably going to happen. So, I just want to get that out there.
Okay. All right. Yeah. If you do that would be amazing. But no. All right. Well, hey, before we get out of here, man, quick shout out to you and your fantasy team. So, again, we're both big fantasy football lovers. We, play. We had our draft. We chronicled that. We had lists. You can go to our channel and see all the other lists that we put together as far as running backs, tight ends, quarterbacks, all of that. But you had a real good week, man. Tell us a little bit about how you did in fantasy and just some of the highlights of who you have on your squad.
This week I did win my match. I was 2 points away from getting the most points in the league out of everybody. Just a couple Joe Burrow turnovers away from getting that. Yeah. But because in our league, it's like if a quarterback has a fumble or interception, that's a -2 points. Yeah. So he still got me 30, but
still got you 30.
He still did, but I happen to have also Joe Mixon. He had a lot of yards from scrimmage. Okay. In that game, I had Devontae Adams. That was crazy. I was able to get him late in the first round, the 9th pick.
Yeah.
And oh man, who else did I have? I did have Gabriel Davis.
Yeah.
Yeah, he got the first touchdown of the NFL
for the Buffalo Bills, for those of you that may not know.
Receiver for the Buffalo Bills. He got the first touchdown of the NFL season. He had about 2 or 3 touchdowns in the divisional game against the Chiefs. Yeah. So I was high on him I thought that he'd have a bigger role, and he did. He showed up. He showed up a lot. Dalton Schultz, tight end. He's gonna get a lot of attention, especially with this QB and with Dak being out. So
that was a great pickup, especially as late as you got him. I'm shocked you got him that late.
6th round.
Yeah, I'm shocked. Yeah, you had a really good draft. Your team is looking even better and better as time goes on. So you're looking good. So you're technically in second place. It's a big tie for first, but you're just 2 points out from having the point lead. So really good week for you. I had a rough week. My team, all of my positions, I'm pretty good shape, but Aaron Rodgers is my quarterback, and we know how bad he did. So that killed my chances of winning. So that hurt me. So I really need Rodgers to pull through. I have Rodgers and Lazard. So Lazard can come back. If Rodgers can be anything close to his MVP form, I will get back in it and make a run. But my season hinges on that. I have Tua as my backup, and I have Tyreek. So maybe there's something there. And then just as a insurance measure, I went ahead and picked up Wentz in case Rodgers just falls off the rails and Tua ends up struggling. I picked up Wentz in case I need him. But, I've got to figure out this QB situation. But my other positions I'm stacked. I've got Jamar Chase. I've got Tyreek. I've got Andrews, the Baltimore tight end. So I'm strong in a lot of positions, but hopefully Rodgers can pull through.
Well, yeah, Rodgers, he did not play that well last week. I think with Lazard's gonna help probably for you. But but you still did lose. You did not score many points. And I do not know how you're gonna bounce back. So I'm very worried. And I think that I'm easily going to win.
Well, we'll see. So there's the first three, there's a lot at stake as far as finishing top three. But besides that, you and I, as we always battle, we have a head-to-head battle. So whoever finishes higher gets a pair of J's, a pair of 13s. So we got something on the line there. So I'll come back. I'm going to get this quarterback situation fixed, and I'll be back. So I'm not worried about it. I'm going to track you down just like that Metcalf tackle. I'm going to track you down at the very end. Take it. Snatch it. You know how I do. All right.
No way.
All right, man. Well, hey, let's get you you got to finish up some homework, and we got to get you to bed, man. You got a big JV football game tomorrow, so good luck with your game tomorrow. I know you're ready. Let's get some rest. I'll be there cheering you on and filming. But, hey, enjoy doing this with you. Proud of you. I love the cause that you picked. So good luck there. We're going to send some money no matter what. And let's keep on doing this, man. This concludes episode 2 of Who You Got. Thanks for watching. Tune in next time. Good luck with your picks. We'll see you later.
Pick 'em pros.